There's so many men that would love a guy to tell them what they think about their penis.
Absolutely.
Tons of them.
Totally.
Tons of them. One time a guy hit me up on Twitter. Do you think P. Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried see each other as peers? Like, hey, we're both like rich businessmen. Like, we're both like successful businessmen. You think they break bread in there?
I hope that they hate each other at first, but learn to find some common differences.
Let's make sure they're bunkmates.
They are.
No way.
They actually, that's the reason why I brought up this up.
You didn't say they were bunkies.
They're sharing a dorm.
I loved working service industry with my friends, and every night we'd go out, drink, and do drugs. And then we'd be like, why are we depressed? And every night I was like, yeah, dude, unexplainable. Literally unexplainable why we're depressed.
But like, we're like young kings.
Yeah. I just feel so sad all the time and tired. Anyways, let's do cocaine till 4 a.m.
We're like in the prime of our lives. We're having 14 shots of Sazerac. Okay, let's go now. This will be the start. Welcome. All right, so what is this thing we want? Yeah, hold on. You got to do it with me now. Ready?
Are you talking about the blowjob machine that Kyle got?
Yeah, our friend just got a blowjob machine, and it was an Oriental blowjob machine.
Yeah, it's Oriental blowjob machine. It was $40. You can call things from the East Oriental, like an Oriental rug.
Right.
You don't call people Oriental.
Never.
But you call places the Orient.
You can call they have that. That's the type. Oh, it's a Mandarin orange. Never mind.
You can you can call. Oh, you went to China? How was the Orient? That's okay.
The region is fine.
Yeah. Is the Orient also like Afghanistan?
I believe it's like the Middle East. It's basically anywhere you'd be afraid to go right now.
Yeah.
That's the Orient.
I have said, oh, you went to the Orient to people and they get mad. And I go, oh no, you can call places and things Oriental.
Anywhere you'd go that your mama would be afraid and say a prayer for you.
That's the Orient right now.
So Mexico's the Orient.
Yeah.
Africa's Oriental to your mom.
Yeah, my mom would consider oh, dude, my friend at work said his dad's going to Africa.
You're right.
And I was like, where in Africa?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, Africa's pretty big, huh? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then he goes, is the Caribbean in Africa?
Bro.
I was like, I'll be honest with you, it's not.
Damn, America rocks.
Yeah, I was like, he's also my boss.
Yeah.
We have to sell these $8,000 vacuums together that no one wants. He's my boss. He's like, hey, how many $8,000 vacuums did you sell? I said, oh, none.
Yeah, this is what's fun about JT is in the side he side hustles. He sells things. Yeah. So I come to his house. He has an $8,000 Roomba. Yeah. It's like the premium exec. It's the C-suite Roomba, and it was not doing work at all.
So I worked at a vacuum company,
right? And
they say, oh, we have this cutting edge vacuum, and it's powered by AI. But it's so bad. It's so bad. And no one wants it, and they don't like it. And I tested it at my house, and it couldn't vacuum anything. And it was $8,000. And I'd call hotels and stuff, and I'd be like, hey, I got a vacuum. And they'd be like, how much does it cost? I'd be like, $8,000 or $400 a month. And they would laugh so hard. Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, it vacuums your floors for you. And they'd be like, oh, do I just push a button and it goes up and down the elevators? And I'd be like, no. Also, if you have stairs, it doesn't notice the stairs, so it'll just break. It'll die. It'll break, and you have to fix it, and that costs a lot of money. No one wanted these vacuums. No one wanted these. No one wanted these fucking vacuums.
I've been contemplating changing my last name for a petty squabble. Well, there's a comedian that I work with at my day job, and I thought it'd be a great day. So I came up to him one day, and an intricate plan to upset him in a way that he can't prove that I'm fucking with him. What I said was, hey, man, so I'm thinking about changing my last name. He goes, really? And I go, well, not my last name, but my stage name. And I was talking to a manager, and I mentioned a couple of managers that I met like the week before. And I said, so I named them, I name dropped them. He goes, oh, this is real. I go, yeah. And I said, because they think my last name's a little played out. He's like, really? Castillo's played out. I go, well, there's Frank Castillo with the Comedy Store. He goes, oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I go, so yeah, they don't want like another Castillo in comedy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like I was throwing names out there as a goof. I was like, I don't know, like what if we went by Sam Burr? What if we went by Sam Kirsten? And then I said, I don't know, like what about Sam Santafanti? What if we did that? And I just and so I kept it going for like 2 hours. And
He believed that you wanted to change your name.
I didn't want to. I made that very clear. He goes, "You want to change your last name?" I go, "I don't want to. They want me to. My management team wants me to. I
got
love
this
my
from
name.
upstairs.
I love my name, but they say no good. They say Castillo muy mal. They say Santafanti bon appetit. You know,
It is.
benissimo.
That sounds like you get a better loan than Castillo. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they say you're pale, but you're white, but you can tan. You got ethnic eyes. You could look something like a Milanese.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell people you're Italian all the time.
Every day I lie. I lie.
Yeah. No one's fucking.
And the more I lie,
that.
the more Italian I look.
Yeah. You're like, it's like the Pinocchio of real life.
That's correct.
The more you lie and harass women, the more Italian you. Every time you yell at a woman on the street, you look a little more Italian.
Every time I tell a girl I own condoms, I tell my girlfriend, "Oh no, I'm going to wear a condom." That I get more Italian.
Oh, dude, the best part about being homeschooled is we were taught that condoms didn't work because latex is like a net, and like cum and STDs can get through that net. So condoms don't actually work. So I remember when I like left the church and like moved to Texas and started having sex.
Yeah.
And
Great excuse to be like, I can't.
Yeah.
They don't work.
Like the first person that asked me like, "Oh, do you want to wear a condom?" I was like, "Oh, actually, condoms don't work because," and she was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I learned that where I would do school." Yeah.
Welcome to the Bad News Podcast, everybody.
Welcome to the Bad News Podcast.
My name is Sam Castillo.
I'm JT Kelly.
And with us today, our producer, JJ. Do you prefer JJ? Do you prefer something? All right. Well, we'll figure out something eventually.
Hey, we'll say JJ's great.
Hey.
Our friend Kyle has been selling his loads on OnlyFans, or not his loads, photos.
No,
of
he's been selling loads. I've heard.
He's been selling loads.
But this is hearsay.
Kyle, you selling cum shots? He will.
He calls them pops, but yeah.
He calls them pops. And what I recommended for his podcast was that I said, "How much would you do a dick rating for?" And he was like, "Oh, I have 900 followers right now, but I would hate to look at a dick and do a dick rating." And I was like, "Well, I got good news for you. I have some mechanisms in place to where I can take care. I can be the hustle of your bustle."
And these mechanisms.
Yeah, my macadamia nuts that I'm eating, hand fucking filthy with them, right? I'm shoving them in my mouth because I'm eating rich, judging guys' penises for my friend Kyle. My dream job. Hey, JT, what do you? Oh, I make $300 a day. I pretend to be my friend Kyle, and I get in the messages, and I say, "Hey,
do you think are out there? This is an untapped market."
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, there's so many people that want men. They're called gay men. There's so many men that would love a guy to tell them what they think about their penis.
Absolutely.
Tons of them.
Totally.
Tons of them. One time a guy hit me up on Twitter and he said, "Will you send me a video of you saying, send me money, you worthless ATM faggot?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh. Absolutely." And I sent it immediately. And then he sent me money. And I was telling my friend at work, and she was like, "Oh, he's using that to blackmail you." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." I'm absolutely.
But he sent you money.
Yeah, she was like, "He's gonna use that video and get you fired from a job." And I was like, "Buddy, I put out my own videos that will get me fired from a job."
We're waiting tables right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, what Boulding Creek Cafe is gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, this guy said the F slur." It's like, "Yeah, why don't you go talk to any of the line cooks?"
Once you translate it, then you'll be offended.
Would you rather raise a front of house daughter or a back of house son?
Do you want to raise a front of house capron or a back of the house maricon? You pick one, okay?
I was front of house. You were back of house.
I've done both.
You're back of house spiritually though.
Spiritually, absolutely.
Yeah, you fuck like a line cook. You got line cook energy.
I got those eyes.
Yeah, I'm front of house, baby.
I was meant to be just an embittered sous chef who does not know his wife and children.
Yeah. I'm front of house and I'm talking to the new 19-year-old host. Being like, "Wait, you just got to Austin?
Whoa.
Oh, that's crazy. So you don't have any friends here?" Oh, that's crazy. What kind of music do you like? Oh, that's crazy. I actually love that too.
It's so crazy. I've seen them live.
Uh,
I've seen them live.
yeah.
Do you want to come to my house and listen to it?
I live right up the street. I'm 23 and I smoke weed all day. I smell horrible.
That's so awesome. I have a Beats pill,
Yeah.
and if I plug it in, it'll last for a while.
Man, I've only gone into the walk-in fridge to do whippets.
Never wants to get food.
No, I was front of house. I was just back there doing whippets, getting that womp. You done whippets in the walk-in fridge before?
Buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. When I moved into my house on South Fifth Street many years ago, I was working at Little Darlin as a door guy, and another door guy was like, "Hey, will you take over my room?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so I helped him move out. And when we lifted the couch, hundreds of whippet canisters,
The little ones,
Yeah.
Little Johns.
hundreds of them just spilled out from underneath the couch. And I laughed at him. I took a photo. He's like, "Don't take a photo." And he goes, "Dude, that wasn't in just like one night." And I was like, "No, I know." I know you didn't rip hundreds of these because you have a problem where you do it every single night, Joel.
Joel, you're an addict.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh, I know you didn't do it in one night because your car is missing. that comes from months and months and years of slowly choking out your brain.
that did not come in one night. One night I'd be impressed. If you could do that one night, I'd be hats off to you.
Your
Salute.
Toyota Avalon has not been seen.
Joel ended up moving to some small town in Texas.
Right.
Stepdad owns his own business.
Really?
Thriving, clean. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Wow. You know, it's not the dad who stepped up. It's the dad who got him a job.
Yeah. It's the guy who just stopped doing whip. Turns out all he needed was to not do whippets every night.
Turns out he needed to just be a person.
I loved working service industry with my friends, and every night we'd go out, drink, and do drugs. And then we'd be like, "Why are we depressed?" And every night I was like, "Yeah, dude, unexplainable. Literally unexplainable why we're
But
depressed."
like we're like young kings.
Yeah. I just feel so sad all the time and tired. Anyways, let's do cocaine till 4 a.m.
We're like in the prime of our lives. We're having 14 shots of Sazerac.
What's Sazerac?
Just like really cheap tequila.
Sazerac.
Mhm.
Oh, I was thinking Zatarans. Sazerac. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boxed rice.
Sazerac.
but New Orleans.
Oh man, how do you say the city? How do you say that city's name?
New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's how I actually say it.
I said New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
I got dunked on 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, a real Cajun step to you.
Yeah, I said New Orleans, and everyone made fun of me. New Orleans. I was like, "Oh, is that how they?" It's how they say it in like movies where they're like, "I'm gonna go to Hollywood or New Orleans." You know, it's like transatlantic accent.
Sure.
That's how I thought it was said. New Orleans.
Cameras.
Yeah. Is it New Orleans strictly,
Uh,
or is New Orleans?
you know what it is?
care. I care.
Okay.
You don't know, do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why you said.
I'm
"Who
going
cares?"
there. I'm going there in 3 weeks.
Yeah. How are you gonna say it?
I'm gonna say New Orleans. I'm gonna really draw it out. They
Really
can't
let it rip.
really let it rip. I'm gonna stop and see some Zydeco music.
That sounds good.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You seen Zydeco?
You sound like you belong there.
That's right.
I don't know. I heard it on a radio station. Andrew Clarkson showed me.
Ugh.
Yeah. Andrew Clarkson showed me a radio station in
Radios.
Houston that played Zydeco
Yikes.
on the AM.
I just want a man with 2 teeth to be bopping spoons on himself. He has sucked enough Freon that he is unemployable. But he'll do this, he'll go spoon, spoon to the rhythm, and people love it.
Man.
It makes the alligator in the kitchen calm. His name Reginald.
You're going to New Orleans in 3 weeks?
Mhm.
New Orleans
New
in
Orleans.
3 weeks?
Uh-huh.
Man, I went to New Orleans, and I went to a place
Right.
where I sat at I was sitting at a table, and the guy said, "Hey, do you guys have any recommendations here?"
What are you doing in New Orleans? What do you?
It's my honeymoon.
That's where your honeymoon.
This is where we went to our honeymoon.
How do we feel about that?
Loved it.
You love that.
Yeah, there's it's some of the best food I've ever had.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic food. It was so good. We were at this one restaurant. We said, "You guys have any recommendations?" And this lady starts giving us recommendations, and she says, "I think it was called like Slims or something like that." And then this guy goes, "Oh, that place is really good, but it's a black space." And I was like, "Oh no, we're not." I was like, "We're cool." I was like, we're not like." I was like, "We're cool." And he was like, "Oh no, they don't want white people there." And the lady telling us was like a really, really light skinned black person, and like kind of like like made a face. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think that anyone said that. Like, do they really not want white customers? And he was like, yeah, I think it's like 4. And we went, and it was great. And I was like, I don't know. I was like expecting them to be like, we don't want your kind here, boy. Why don't you head out that door here, boy? But it wasn't. It was
But
fantastic
instead,
food.
they made us food. They spat in it, and we had
Yeah.
a wonderful meal.
Yeah. Do you think that's a real thing though? Do you think the people that work there don't want white people to come in?
No, I
I don't
don't
think
think
that was
so.
real.
I don't think that's real at all. It's a tourism. It's a city built on tourism
Yeah.
because they can't build things themselves.
I thought when he said that, I immediately thought, oh, you saw someone's Facebook post. You saw like a local activist Facebook post being like, I went in for brunch. And saw all
you
these
have a
white-"
drunk aunt.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a
100%.
racist aunt.
100%. I was like, you saw a Facebook post and you liked it and you said, perspective.
Perspective.
Thank you. I'm here to learn. Here to
That's
listen.
the way the world is.
Mhm.
Turns out that's the way it is. Aunt
Mhm.
Shirley was wronged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. There's just a lot of good food there.
What are you excited to do there?
Have Ethiopian food. It's supposed to be very good there.
Okay.
Also, I'm in a long distance relationship, so to blast a couple loads off would be nice.
Absolutely. Some Kyle-sized loads.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Ethiopian. That's the oldest Christian nation, right? Right? Ethiopia?
I'd say Israel is, right?
Well, no. Israel's like 50 years old.
Well, the land, sorry, Palestine. They have Palestinian Christians that have been there since literally the beginning of Christianity.
I don't think.
And they're not, whatever. We're not going to do it.
Well,
We're not going to do it.
Ethiopia has been like a Christian nation as like a straight up nation, like a recognized place with borders for like hundreds of years.
Really?
I think so. I might be wrong. I thought it was like since like the 1500s or some shit like
I
that.
trust you completely.
I wouldn't know. Now I want to Google it.
You can't do that. You have to be confident.
No, I said it out. I said that's the
Do you
oldest
understand
Christian
how much
nation,
I
right?
lie on this show?
No, I think everything you say is true.
Oh my God. All right.
You have a computer. It's
Oh,
in front of you, right there.
I forgot we can't do that.
Ethiopia. Yeah. Ethiopia.
It's,
You got it. Ethiopia. Oh, yeah. Oldest Christian nation is one of those search things. It's one of those things you hear growing up.
it's
The
one of
second-
the oldest, second oldest.
Armenia.
Armenia.
Shout out Armenia. When King Ezana of Aksum converted. Oh, that's Ethiopia.
Yeah, that Ethiopian in hell, dog.
Do you know the capital of Ethiopia?
I don't.
It's Aksum. Ask me the capital of any country.
Okay. Azerbaijan.
Baku.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Lagos? Oh, that's a city.
That you're thinking Nigeria.
Yeah, that's correct. Fuck. Bolivia.
Bolivia. I have no clue. But the crazy thing, I got the first one, huh?
Yes, that was
I was like, I literally thought what are the chances that and he said I was like, oh shit, no, I know that one.
honestly, Baku was a good pull. I gotta hand it to you. Didn't think you'd have Baku.
That's crazy, right?
That was impressive.
Yeah, I feel great. I couldn't believe that.
Color me.
I was hoping
impressed.
you'd say Luxembourg. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because I know that one too.
What's the capital of Luxembourg?
It's like Listwine or something like that. I guess I don't actually know it. It's like Lustine, I think. Search Luxembourg. Oh, Luxembourg. Capital. Oh, it's Luxembourg. Never mind. Capital of Luxembourg is Luxembourg. The capital of Nevada, Carson City.
All right. we're done.
You guys aren't gonna believe that, but it's true. It's actually Carson City.
Let's get an update on P. Diddy.
The P. Diddy update.
The most fun thing is he's finally been arrested all year long. They've been raiding the houses. They've been taking things. They've been, getting written affidavits. Now he's been arrested. He's in pre-trial holding, and he's in Brooklyn because they know he's going to flee. They know he'd run to, like, Roman Polanski's house.
Yeah.
So now he's living with Sam Bankman-Fried.
Hilarious.
Which is tight.
That sounds like such a good SNL skit. I can't wait for them to lampoon this.
I cannot wait for Devin Walker and Michael Longfellow to nail that sketch.
That's going to be a perfect picture of society. I'm so happy that they're going to take that on.
Both those guys are so nice. I hope they actually do that. I hope they have the balls to do that. That would be so funny.
Do you think it would get past?
No.
No way.
No way.
No way, right?
That'd be too much.
You seen the clips of P. Diddy on the children's shows that have been going around online lately?
No.
There's that one children's show that Dan Snyder did.
Oh, God.
And P. Diddy's on it.
No.
And this kid like won't wake up. And they're like, what would P. Diddy do? And he tells him to put a helicopter down this kid's pants. And it's just this really weird scene where it's like, that's such a weird thing to tell a kid to do to another kid. Symbolism will be their downfall. I'm going to say that too loud and get Greg all riled up. Symbolism will be their downfall. I'm drawing triangles and everything. I remember when the FBI released that big fucking list of all the symbols that pedophiles use. I was like, oh yeah, that's just like what everything looks like now. I was like, now just every guy's gonna be like, yeah, see how that's triangle? That triangle is actually a secret pedophile.
Triangle. You know that uncommon shape where 3 lines meet and conjoin. Dark group of people.
Dark group, yeah. It's insiders.
Bad way, no good.
Yeah, seeing that everywhere now.
What's so crazy is the prison that Sam Bankman-Fried and P. Diddy are staying at is the same jail that Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein both stayed in. So they're like, oh, God, P. Diddy's going to be on suicide watch. They're going to kill him.
You think they're going to kill P. Diddy?
Absolutely. I'm surprised they let Bankman-Fried live this long.
I think P. Diddy is just another one of the fall guys for big rings of this. Who's P. Diddy's manager again? What's that guy's name?
I don't know. He's a producer.
Yeah. I mean, he goes back to that fucking same mafia group that was doing videos. Of guys in apartments with who's that fool that was the FBI?
Wassim Slabley.
That's not who I'm thinking. I'm thinking another guy. But yeah, just one of the many perverts that's in. You know the Whitney Webb book.
How can I contact Diddy?
Oh, you can text him.
You can 917-746-1444.
That's good.
And text JT too.
There is this. Do you remember how they had those what were called blue suede shoe parties? Where that guy that ended up, who's the FBI, the guy that ran the FBI that tapped everyone's fucking phones?
Oh, Hoover.
So Hoover used to go to those parties where they'd have like sex and stuff like that. And that guy that had casinos in Cuba and gave the mob good business fronts, they were involved in that blackmail like institute. And a lot of those guys just like that kind of fucking, that whole mechanism, that whole strategy is still going on with P. Diddy. So I don't think P. Diddy's like a big player in this. I think he's just one of the many people that are involved in weird fucking sex blackmail party rings.
I mean, yeah, it's never you never get all of them, but I think he was a major player.
How major of a player you think P. Diddy was?
I mean, there are multiple people coming out and saying that he would drug them and traffic them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal to traffic people. That'd make you a player in the trafficking game, would it not?
Yeah, but I just think that he has bosses that are in the same way that like catching Epstein was like.
I mean, everybody kicks up to somebody.
Yeah, I just think that
even human traffickers have bosses.
Yeah, I think his bosses are just like in the music industry.
Even human traffickers have to text and say, "Look, I think I need the day off because I got to help my roommate move."
Even human traffickers are taking a screenshot of a photo to make sure that you can't see the metadata on it of a positive COVID test and texting it into someone.
Even human traffickers are texting and saying, "Hey, the closing crew last night really didn't make the dungeons clean. I don't want to open up the girl dungeons, the crates, the way that they close that. Okay." They didn't squeegee and mop the floors properly. They didn't manage the till.
The crates. There's this guy
They didn't label anything.
Owned this bar downtown and he used to come out to comedy stuff because he was friends with Castles. And he's kind of just this weird rich guy that was kind of stuck on comedians for a bit, like pre-pandemic.
Gross.
But he was into like BDSM where girls would like be in cages and like he'd have friends over that would like fuck these girls through these cages. And I was like, man, that's so crazy. And then he caught some like Geishans and I was like, oh, they're definitely true. This guy fucks girls through cages. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way those things
The
are
guy
true.
who told me, hey, I fuck girls through cages, did so.
And it was the first time I thought, oh shit, maybe those girls didn't want to be there. I was like, oh shit, maybe these stories aren't like, oh
Maybe
yeah,
the
all these
cages
freaky
weren't-
people.
Maybe the cages weren't for the kinks, but more so to keep them from running.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't as kinky as he made it seem. I was like, yeah, this guy's just an absolute freak, loves kinky sex, loves kinky things. But yeah, I think Sean Combs is a part of a really big blackmail ring. I think that P Diddy
Oh yeah.
is someone who is blackmailing people, but all he does is get the footage.
This is
and then give it
why
to
he's
someone
gonna
else.
die.
Yeah.
Is
Mm.
someone Fonseca was this photographer who photographed all of these parties. Oh, like she made a living photographing rock stars on tour, and then eventually worked her way into like Diddy's crew.
Mhm.
And she went to over 2,000 Diddy parties
That's
and
nuts.
photographed a lot of them. And she came up to the press and was like, "You guys better watch him because people want him dead. The people who I photographed at these parties do not want to be known that they were at these parties.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who they are because then they'd kill me."
Well,
So
what collateral does she have?
I'm assuming a lot of photos that she'd be like, "If you kill me, I'll release these photos."
Yeah, I mean, is that what she's saying? Is that her thing? Is that like,
She didn't explicitly say that, but she said that that would happen if they kill Diddy.
Mm.
She's like, he will release these photos that he has. Also, she said, when I would go in and photograph parties, I found all three of his houses, the Ibiza house, the Hamptons house, and the Beverly Hills house, all were loaded up with hidden cameras.
yeah, it's the same as Epstein's mansions.
Of
and all-
course.
it's all just a
honeypot,
blackmail ring.
All honeypot.
Yeah, it's wild.
But she's acknowledging this. You need someone from the outside to acknowledge these things. Otherwise, we're just speculating in the dark.
Mhm.
And one of the things that she said, like, was like, look, you look at like the people who like were there. It's like, we know the famous musicians that have the cover because they were on his label. Usher, Jay-Z, Aaliyah. They have a reason to be at those parties because they are his employees.
Yeah.
But then you have other celebrities that don't have a reason to be there. Leonardo DiCaprio famously hates young women.
Yeah.
And
I think Leonardo DiCaprio definitely had a reason to be there. I think he definitely had a reason to be there.
you also have Ashton Kutcher, who runs a very popular anti-human trafficking charity.
Immediately sus, right? When someone says, I want to solve the human trafficking problem, it's like, wait, there's like police that are supposed to do that. Why are you,
Why are you?
Ashton Kutcher, going up to the bat?
The cooch.
The cooch, yeah. The cooch hole.
The cooch hole.
And also, didn't he write a letter for the dude that like that he was on the show with that like for sure raped those chicks?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's like, I wrote this letter. Oh, by the way, I fucking actually hate rape. He's like, I have to play both sides. He's like Kanye wearing the Trump hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Danny Masterson's trial, he wrote him and Mila Kunis both
Yeah.
wrote the Kunis
Mhm.
and the Coocher. I
Cooney and
realized I couldn't
Coochie.
say her first syllable of her name because I said the Cooch and I was like, the Kunis. I can't do that.
You have this Pittsburgh demon in you when you say Mila Kunis.
I do?
Yeah.
What's a Pittsburgh
It
demon?
sounds so Pittsburgh. Mila Kunis? How you say Mila Kunis?
Mila Kunis?
Mila Kunis? Yeah. Mila Kunis. She's writing a letter being like, dude, he's so chill.
Yeah, you
Danny
guys
Masters-
you guys just lay him off Danny Masterson. He's a good guy.
What are those gambling things you can buy at bars? Pool tabs? You know, in Pennsylvania and other states, you can buy pool tabs at bars. It's like gambling.
No,
We need it in Texas.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, in other states, they have these things called pool tabs, and it's gambling. You can gamble at bars. It's gambling.
It's a POOL tab.
pool. You pull the tab. I actually have never seen one in real life.
I don't understand. It's like a scratcher.
I don't really know what it is. I've never seen one in real life, but I've heard about people that gamble using pool
All right,
tabs.
all right.
I think pool
We're gonna just really abuse the computer today.
pool tabs, gambling ticket, pool tab games,
It's a gambling ticket.
gambling ticket,
That includes keep saying everything I say a second.
pool
after.
tab game,
Including break opens,
break opens,
Nevada tickets,
cherry balls,
Lucky Sevens, pickle
Lucky
cards.
Sevens, pickleball. It's a pool tab. It's gambling.
It's a multi-layered paper ticket containing symbols hidden behind perforated tabs.
It's a scratcher.
They open the perforated windows on the ticket to reveal a winning combination. The player turns in the winning tickets for a prize. It's an advent calendar, but for gambling. It's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a scratcher. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can get those at bars. In some places.
Wow. Yeah, you can get them in. Let's see where these are allowed. Legality. 20 states allow these. We
Hell
don't have them
yeah.
in Texas.
We need gambling at bars in Texas.
I agree.
Why wouldn't Texas want us to gamble at bars?
I
Do you
don't.
think P. Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried like see each other as peers? Like, hey, we're both like rich businessmen. Like, we're both like successful businessmen. You think they break bread in there?
I hope that they hate each other at first, but learn to find some common differences.
Let's make sure they're bunkmates.
They are.
No way.
They actually. That's the reason why I brought this up.
You didn't say they were bunkies.
They're sharing a dorm.
That's awesome.
They are
dude.
sharing a dorm.
I want to see them doing the prison workout where they clap in between. Like they do the push up and they clap. And they like do a high five with each other.
Yeah, who got top bunk?
Oh, Diddy.
Diddy got top bunk.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
And then the first night he goes, "Hey Sam, yeah, are you asleep? No, me neither. Do you think that people still like us? Totally, Sean.
You know what's crazy? Is there people that still like both of them?
Of course,
Isn't that fucking nuts, man?
absolutely,
Isn't that fucking nuts?
absolutely.
People that still like both of them.
Yeah.
One time I was at a strip club and the stripper started talking to me about Chris Brown and he was like, "A lot of people don't." She was like, "A lot of people don't know the full story."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, she was hitting him and she threw his phone out the window. You would hit someone too if they threw your phone out the window. I was like, you're telling me that you're on Chris Brown's side in the Rihanna dispute? She was. That was the story that she was telling me. I was like, wow, that's nuts.
Speaking of Suicide Watch, well, I figure I can finally say the word. We're long enough in the episode now that I can say the word suicide, huh? The biggest news to me this last weekend was this suicide pod story. Have you heard of the suicide pods?
I loved that.
You loved it. I like it too, actually.
I think people should be allowed. I'm not trying to sound like an edgelord. If you want to fucking kill yourself, you should be allowed to kill yourself.
As long as
I
you
don't want you to.
And what's nice about this way, doesn't make a mess.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Yeah.
They create this guy created what I don't like the branding. The way
it's demonic.
the way what bothers me about the suicide pods is that they feel the need to still brand it.
Oh.
The whole point of it is that, hey, it'll fucking kill you. We promise you that if you get in this pod, you will not be
You're
alive.
gonna die. Yeah.
That's the only thing. I don't need to hear about the amenities of the pod. I don't need to hear about how the camera's in 4K. I don't need to hear about the leather being real Corinthian leather. They were doing that. They're talking going hand-stitched this suicide pod.
Really?
I don't care.
Dude, I want it made on a factory line in fucking Vietnam.
I want it made by people who want to kill themselves.
I want them to be like, I think we have 3 stolen every year.
The sickest irony is every day you build a tool to kill yourself and you go, God, if I could.
God, what
One
is the
day
demand for these? There can't be more
like
than
that
just
Johnny Cash song where he built a Cadillac piece by piece over 20 years. I'm going to build my suicide pod one piece at a time. I got a 79, 89, 84 suicide pod machine.
One thing that's disturbing is the fact that one of the things is calling it 3D printed. Like, I don't care that it's 3D printed.
Yeah, I don't care. There's some of the part, and here's the thing. Only like a few of the parts are, the gears are. Yeah. The rest of it is like prefab.
Bought at Home Depot.
Yeah. And we're going to break it down. How to make your own.
Hey, YouTube. Today, we're going to make all this at Home Depot. I like it described as the Tesla of euthanasia.
That's exactly what upset me, was that they started branding their machine. It's called the Sarco. SARCEO. And they started branding the Sarco as the Tesla. It's like, shut the fuck up.
No way. This fool's name is Nietzsche?
No, it's Nitschke.
That's Nietzsche.
Yeah. So one Dr. Philip Nitschke, he's a German engineer now living in Switzerland, built the Sarco machine and sold his first one to the Last Resort, which is like a camp devoted to helping people get assisted suicide. Or sorry, they can't call it that. That's illegal in Switzerland, but euthanasia is legal in Switzerland. So that's like the tacit thing is you have to have a terminal illness and show documentation from a doctor. Otherwise, it's considered illegal because you are not like euthanasia. You have to be terminal.
Yeah.
And in American women, and they're not going to release the name of the lady, but a woman came from Michigan and flew into Italy and then took a train to Switzerland and was the first person to die from a Sarco machine. And like they filmed it and they will not release the footage, which I don't need to see the footage. There are some sickos out there who need to. But the reason why they filmed it is because they were like asking the woman, like, hey, do you know what your name is? Do you know how many fingers I'm holding up? Do you know what day it is? Do you know what machine you're in?
Making sure she's like 100% there.
1000% cognitive or cognizant. And she was like incognitive and she's like, boom. And what's so grim though is when they quoted the guy who ran the last resort. His name was I believe his name was Tom de Volkskrant. De Volkskrant says when she entered the Sarco, she almost immediately pressed the button. She didn't say anything. She really wanted to die. My estimate is that she lost consciousness within 2 minutes and that she died after 5.
Well, just so you guys know, she's not going to go to heaven because she killed herself.
How these machines work is that they have these chambers, capsules of not NOS, but just nitrogen gas.
Mm-hmm.
So similar to whippets. You whip it yourself. Pretty rad.
Dude, that's the way to go. If I had
Literally,
to
you choke yourself out with nitrous.
kill myself, I think I'd want to do like skydiving. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah. That skydiving without a parachute, just die that way.
Yeah, or just not pull it. If I had to, obviously I wouldn't kill myself, but if I had to, like, they say, hey, if you don't kill yourself, we're going to kill your family or something like that. And I'm like, I'll jump the hero in the story. And so I have to jump out of the plane. I'd wear it. And then they're
Just
like,
not pull it.
pull it. And I just go like that. Or I'd pretend, I'd pretend like I can't find it the whole way down. I'd pretend like I can't find it the whole way down. I knew a couple that when they went on their honeymoon to Hawaii, died because they went hang gliding. And I remember they were really close with my girlfriend at the time. I was like 18 or 19. And my girlfriend was like, oh, they so-and-so died in a hang gliding accident. And I was like, oh, don't make any jokes. And it was so hard for me not to be like, oh, yeah, that's why you
The whole
don't
time
go.
you were like,
yeah, all I could think was like, yeah, that's why you don't go fucking hang gliding. It seems like the problem they had was they were hang gliding and taking on God himself, who did not give us the gift of flight for a reason.
Meanwhile, you're doing this, you're saying all this strung out on a couch on heroin.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the thing about them. They flew too close to the sun.
I never injected heroin. I only smoked it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
That's how I did it so safe. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the machine releases those nitrogen, liquid nitrogen gas whippets, and yeah, you just asphyxiate yourself. You're literally whipping yourself.
So, jokes aside, this shouldn't be legal anywhere.
You don't think so?
No.
To whip it yourself to death?
No.
But you just said you were for euthanasia.
I was just kidding.
Really?
Yeah, I was just kidding.
I'm actually for it.
You think people should be
able to off themselves? Yes.
Man, people are just going to take advantage of that.
What does that mean?
You're going to have vulnerable people
taking advantage.
You're going to have vulnerable people.
You can't take advantage of yourself.
You're going to have vulnerable people taking advantage of their caregivers that no longer want to care for them. Oof. You're going to have vulnerable people that are rejected in their community, and so they think their only option is to kill themselves instead of finding a new community because they're like weirdo and autistic or something.
Right.
You're going to have disabled people tricked into doing it.
Damn, this is really this is like hardcore like community stuff. You sound like I'm at a hardcore show, you know? Like and they're like, for all you guys who feel like your caretakers are giving up on you. I'm at a turnstile show, and they're like, for all you guys who feel like your community's walked out on you. Just keep looking for another community. Can't be the only one. This next song's called Gas Chamber, Sarco.
No band is going to release a song called Gas Chambers. That's like a Screwdriver-ass band name. That's insane.
True.
Any band that's releasing a song called Gas Chambers probably is not going to get easy time booking unless they're doing Hammerfest something.
They're doing the Ruby Ridge tour.
Yeah, Ruby Ridge tour. TikTok thinks I'm a Nazi because of the type of hardcore I like. And sometimes it'll show me Nazi hardcore bands, and I have to say not interested.
Not interested, China.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The same exact type of music. I'm just not talking about that. And I think that's the episode. Are we at an hour?
Is that really?
Well, 7:30. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have one more story I really wanted to cover. Well, there's two, but if we don't have time, that's fine.
Yeah, I got to get to Creek. Can we do a 40-minute episode?
Yeah, you want to end it now?
Is that okay?
Okay, yeah. All right, guys. Hey, they got a short and sweet one. We'll see you sooner than later. All right. My name is Sam Castillo.
JT Kelly.
Follow us at Bad News Pod on everything. Sorry. I keep looking at the monitor.
I was just looking
at
at
Bad
the
News
TV.
Pod on everything. We'll see you on the internet. Bye.
Thank you. God bless.